Hi guys, it's Chloe and
Christmas.
And this is the long-awaited story time about my mom, Desiree Mendoza, who passed due to domestic violence from my stepdad.
Here's some background for who my mom is.
So my mom had her LVN. She's an RN. She did psych nursing. She was a geriatric nurse, and she did home health. And she graduated from college. She went to school for a good time. She had a lot of friends, and she was known in my town. So my mom had started dating Anthony, I'd say 2023, and he didn't live here, so he would be in and out. And then I found out they were getting married like a couple months afterwards. We were a decent family. Me and my older brother saw the inside of the house, so we, of course, knew everything going on. But from the outside, everyone had thought like it was perfect, and I was, fine with that. I was about like 10 whenever he came into my life, so yeah, that's the little background of like him and like their relationship. My mom was always there for me. Like, she was, other than of course my little sister, she was the only other woman in the house that like understood me, and she broke the statistics of a regular single mother. Like, she went out and made sure she had provided for all of us, for all 3 of her kids. Of course, before she had the other 2 with Anthony. Sorry, I have to refilm this part because I realized I've said too much. But Thanksgiving Day, there was an altercation which caused the breakup between them 2. I realize that's all I can say and I can't go into detail. From then, my mom had broken up with Anthony. He had went in and out and took all of our furniture. He took our TVs. Basically, the stuff we needed to call it a home. Mind you, we had a padded lock, like a code. You're gonna need that for later. My mom had started posting on TikTok about her feeling better about herself, and I'll probably insert a clip or something.
Smith don't got a cuss in his rap to sell records. Well, I do, so fuck him and fuck you too.
Every time he leave me alone, he always tell me he miss it. He wanna
And then she started posting on Facebook looking for places to rent and furniture and TVs and stuff, like to like make her house a home again. I'll also insert some of those. Then December 5th comes, and have to redo this part too, sorry. So December 5th, me and my mom were laying on the bed together, and we had found out that he had called so many places, and yeah, so he sort of tried to ruin her life in a way and lie on her name and make her seem like a bad person to places and people. And then that same night, she filed for divorce and applied for the papers or whatever. That morning, December 6th, we were planning to go see my cousin's game that was at my school, which wasn't too far from our house. So I was up around 8, and I was texting my mom, hey, like, when are you gonna take me? So I was waiting and waiting, and I have a big window, like massive window, in the front of the house. Like, my room's the front of the house. So I had texted her, I was like, why is he here? And she was like, he's coming to get stuff and he's leaving. I was like, yes, ma'am. And he was there for another hour, and I was texting my mom. I said, hey, if you don't leave by 10 something, then I'm gonna call the cops. And I didn't want to escalate anything because I knew what he was capable of. So I didn't call the cops, which I should have. And then this is where you need to remember about the padded lock. He came in the house. I personally was too scared to confront him or even be in his, like, be around him. And then I heard a rustling in the kitchen. I knew what it was. I knew what he was getting. But I didn't think he would do it. I then heard a yell, just one singular yell. And then I seen him walk out of the door. We made eye contact. He had my little brother in his hands, and I ran back to my room. And I watched him through the blinds of my big window. And I seen him throw my little brother in there, and I saw him drive off. I then went to my mom's room, and her door was jammed shut. Like, it wasn't locked, it was jammed somehow. I don't know how. I then broke down the door after failing to wake my brother up. I broke down the door, and then I called out for my brother, then I called the cops. And the cops, of course, the cops, are you sure? Like, what, like, dumb questions that don't need to be asked, you know? So it took a while. I then went to my neighbor's house and settled down. Family came, and, yeah. We then went to the detectives and, like, the police stations and everything and told them everything about him. And then they ended up finding him on a highway, I'm pretty sure, with a flipped car with my little brother in the backseat with no seatbelt or car seat. But Anthony had broken ribs, a broken back, and more injuries. He was hospitalized. And my little brother, toddler by the way, under 1, had no injuries, just a nosebleed and a couple scratches. So that's, my mom was protecting him. She was a miracle. Sorry, I'm trying to hold back tears. My mom and Anthony were in the same hospital, so we weren't allowed to see her, which was pretty upsetting and hurt a bit. And I mean, I think that's it, but that I can really disclose, you know. We have some sayings. We have, love shouldn't hurt. And then I walk for Desiree Mendoza. So yeah, thanks for all the support, and I'm really thankful for it all. And I'm just trying my best to get my mom's name out there. Make sure to do what's in my pinned video's caption so that we can get Anthony life in prison.
Have y'all missed me? My name is Charlie. I'm a nail tech. I've been a nail tech for 3 years, and here is a story time on a client who was supposed to be my friend who stole over $1,000 from me. Let's get right into it. This girl was supposed to be my friend, but she had only been my friend for like 2 weeks at this point. And mind you, we were friends because we were in a Bible group chat that I started, trying to find more Bible-loving, God-loving women, okay? So, I'm friends with this girl on Snapchat. We talk, we're in a group chat. We're friends. We're cool. We're kiki kaka, Her first appointment with me, okay? Everything's cool and kosher. She seems cool. I'm thinking I just found a really good friend. After like 2 weeks of knowing this girl and claiming her as my friend, she proceeds to text me. I think it was like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., maybe 3 a.m. and on some random day. And she texts me and she's crying. She is bawling her eyes out. And she's telling me that she's at her boyfriend's house and she just went through his phone and found out that he was cheating on her. She's telling me she needs somewhere to go because she can't stay there because she just found out that he was cheating on her. So she asks if she can come to my house. Now, I live with my boyfriend. I've lived with my boyfriend for almost 3 years now, okay? I've never had anyone come sleep over at my house while I live with my boyfriend. I've never had that. Let alone had anyone in my bedroom. I've never had a friend in my bedroom since moving in with my boyfriend. But I turned to my boyfriend, I explained to him the situation, and I asked him his opinion. He says it's totally fine and that I can invite her over and we can be there for her. Now, this girl doesn't have a car, so she would have needed an Uber, in which she needed me to order for her. She said that she would pay me back when she got to my house, so I ordered her an Uber from I'm not going to say my exact address, obviously, but from Caledonia to the south side of Milwaukee. If you don't know how much that would cost, the Uber itself was supposed to be around $45. To try to condense this all into one video, I'm going to have to skip over a few minor details, but I'll give you the big picture. So the Uber picks her up, and the Uber starts driving to my house, picking her up, driving her to my house, but then she realizes she forgot her purse. Okay, she forgot her purse. So she makes the Uber turn around and go back to his house. She sneaks back in, she grabs her purse, and she comes back out to the Uber, and then the Uber restarts their trip and proceeds back to my house. Due to this, the Uber upcharged quite a lot of money, and the Uber ended up being $80. But anyway, she finally arrives at my house, and she comes in and immediately, once she sits down, she immediately gives me some money. So she pays me back for the Uber, and she also gives me and my boyfriend some extra money for our hospitality. I don't know. She said she was just being nice and whatever. But when she pulls out this money, she pulls out this fat wad of money, just like an odd wad of money, you know? She proceeds to tell me that she just stole like $1,000, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. But I know it was at least $1,000 that she just stole from her boyfriend who was cheating on her. Obviously, I don't have no problem with that. Stop cheating on your bitch. She then pulls out an entire box of yards. Yeah, she pulls out an entire box of them. She hands me some. She hands my boyfriend some. She's just giving it all away. She's just giving us shit at this point. And we're talking to her. She's crying. We're there for her. We're smoking her up. I think we got some food, or maybe we just like made something that we had in the kitchen. I don't know. But we made sure she ate. We were smoking. We were having a good time. And we were also letting her vent to us. I've only known this girl for like 2 weeks at this point. So the night goes on. We end up being, somewhat normal. And I had this small little couch that I got off Amazon that like, it was like a little chair. And it folds out into a bed. So I pulled it into my room and I put it on my side of the bed on the floor. So she slept on that in my room on my side of the bed. Okay. Then the following morning, I think it was like 8 or 9 a.m. maybe. She wakes me up and she's like crying, like she's losing her shit, like panic attack mode right now. So I wake up, my boyfriend's still asleep. He's still in the room asleep. And she's like being really loud, trying to wake me up and tell me what's happening. She tells me that the boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, I don't know, I think I'm gonna just say boyfriend. This boyfriend found out that she stole this money from him and that he was telling her mom. She is ethnic. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna out everything because I'm not gonna out her name and stuff like that because I don't need no beef. I'm a business owner. Okay, I don't need beef, but I'm gonna give the people the story time. Anyways, so she's freaking out because her ethnic mom is finding out that she just stole $1,000 from her boyfriend and left in the middle of the night and came to my house. And he's being very aggressive over these texts to her. And she's showing me them. She's like, I'm hearing her phone calls. Like, I'm hearing that seems like a red flag, but like, I'm not really sure. I haven't really known this girl for that long, but I'm going to automatically take her side. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. Her mom says that she needs to come home right now. And so I offer to drive her and her mom says no, that her boyfriend needs to come pick her up from my house and take her to her mom's house. Like, she will not allow me to take her. I'm so sorry, y'all. This is going to have to be 2 parts because I'm already 5 minutes in and we're not even a little bit into the way to the story. So eventually, push comes to shove, he pulls up to my house to pick her up. And so he picks her up, but as I'm walking her out, because I'm walking her all the way outside to his car, and he's yelling at her from inside the car, which obviously he just got $1,000 stole from him. Obviously, he's going to be hostile. He's probably going to be a little aggressive, But as someone who has been in a abusive relationship before, it was freaking me out. I didn't want her to get in the car. I was insisting, please let me drive you. Please let me drive you. She asks if I can just follow him secretly in my car all the way there to make sure nothing happens because she's very convinced that her mom is going to kick her out after everything gets aired out. The kindness of my heart, I said yes. And this was like not a short drive. This was like a 20, 25, maybe even 30-minute drive. I don't remember for sure. But I do so, and I'm following her, and I'm asking her for updates as we're on the way there, and then I told her, like, once you get inside that house, you need to keep me updated, because I'm just going to be sitting outside not really knowing what's happening. And she says, yes, I got you. I'll give you updates every few minutes. I'll let you know what's going on. Okay, cool. I finally get to her house. She drops a pin. She dropped a pin before we left around the corner from her house, and she told me to wait there so nobody would see my car. I'm sitting there. I'm waiting. She texts me maybe once or twice, but not back to back. Like, I'm waiting a very long time for responses. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm sitting here waiting for her to come back to my car so then I can take her home with me and then figure out where she's going to go, because she couldn't live with me, but I wasn't just going to let her be kicked out and not have anywhere to go. So I was going to help her if she were to get kicked out. So that's what I was waiting there for. Then eventually, I think I was sitting there for like 30 or 40 minutes with no response from her. And I didn't want to leave yet just in case something was going really wrong inside the house. And I'm not where I can see the house, so I don't see anything happening, you know? Eventually, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to leave. If nothing's happening, you're not texting me back. My boyfriend's mad at me because I just up and left while he was asleep because I thought I was about to come play Captain Save-A-Ho. So I text her and I'm like, all right, girl, you're not responding, so I'm just going to go home. Good luck. She then responds and asks me if I can go get her a vape. Neither of us are 21 yet. I don't know this area that I'm in. No, we have bigger issues here. Why are you asking me for a vape? I thought you were about to get kicked out of your house. I thought you were about to get beat on by your mother. I said, I don't really know any places around here, girl. Like, I don't think I can, but like, what's the update? Like, is everything okay? No response again. So I leave and she ends up texting me back after I had already left. I think I'm like halfway home, if not most of the way home, when she finally texts me back and says that she left already with said boyfriend. He took her out to get a vape and to get some food, and that they were going to go back to her mom's house and talk. Okay, whatever. Weird to me, but okay, I'll move on. I digress. I finally get back home. Everything's normal. I'm moving on past it. It was an irritating situation, but stuff happens, we move on. I don't know how long after this situation. I know it was more than a day, but it was either like a couple days, like a few days, or like a week or something like that. But my boyfriend and I, we have a jar. We have a jar and it's labeled Florida jar. What is it? Florida money jar. We were saving $20 a day individually. So a total of $40 a day. We would put $40 a day in this little container, in this jar, because we wanted to move from Wisconsin to Florida. So we are counting our jar and we're over $1,000 short. I think it was about $1,200 or $1,300 short. We're not going to steal our own money. We want to move to Florida. Why would we steal our own money? Nobody else has been in our room. Nobody else has ever been in our room other than this friend, client thing person. So my boyfriend and I, we get to looking at each other. We recounted this money. I kid you not, we recounted this money at least 10 times. Swear to God, we counted this money so many times. And it kept coming up short again and again and again. Mind you, after her boyfriend found out that she stole this $1,000 from him, she made me give back all the money she gave me and all the money she gave my boyfriend, which means now I'm out this $80 for this Uber. I didn't even get paid back anymore. And she said she had to return the entire sum to him that she stole from him. So that's over $1,000. So you're telling me that as soon as you got to give back this $1,000 to him, my $1,000 goes missing? I'm so sorry, y'all. Come back for part 2. Part 2 of the client who stole over $1,000 from me. So yeah, we find out that our money has disappeared. Our money is gone. Our money is missing. And while that may not sound like a whole lot of money, it is a lot of money to us. So I don't immediately get to texting her saying, did you steal my money, blah, blah, blah. Because at the end of the day, I don't know 100%. I wanted to hear her out. So I invited her over to my house and I was, acting real calm and regular. I was just asking her if she wanted to come hang out. She says yes. And she says that she has a nail appointment with her cousin because her cousin was learning how to do nails, I'm pretty sure, or she already was an established nail tech. I don't know. But either way, her cousin knew how to do nails. So she was going to get her nails done by her cousin and then she was going to get a ride to my house. This appointment took like 7 hours, literally. She didn't end up getting to my house until like midnight or like maybe even later, I think. But eventually she gets to my house and she comes inside. We sit in my bed it was her, me, and my boyfriend. And we were sitting there and we're just having a little regular small talk, whatever, until eventually my boyfriend cuts me off. And he's like, so we know you took our money. We don't want to fight about it. We don't want to call the police. We just want our money back. This is our money we've been saving. We were going to use it to move. Like we really just want the money back. And she immediately gets to crying, like really crying, like soul crying. And she's like, I would never do that to you guys. Like you guys have only done nothing but good for me. Like you guys are really, really, sorry, I got an interesting text right there, but Yeah, she was really just saying that she would never do that to us because we're so sweet, you know? She also offered to help pay the money back, even though she didn't steal it, because we don't deserve that. My boyfriend and I don't know what to believe. So we're looking at each other like, do we believe her? Or like, because like, where else would the money have gone? We genuinely have no other reasonable thought as to what could have happened to our money. So eventually we hit a wall where we can't like just keep saying we need our money, we need our money, and she just keeps denying it. Like, we've hit a wall. We're not progressing anywhere after this. So we just kind of let the conversation die down. We kind of let the conversation go. And she asks if she can get a drink of water. Our kitchen was right outside our bedroom, so it was no problem. It's not like I'm sending her across the fucking village to go get a drink of water. Like, whatever, I told her, yes, you can go get a drink from our fridge. So she leaves our room, and she goes immediately to the fridge because it's right outside of our room. And so I hear her, like, open the fridge and stuff, but then she's out there for a little minute. And then I hear our water running. So I walk out there, and she's doing my dishes. She's literally doing my dishes that I had left in my sink. So I'm like, hey girl, what are you doing? Why are you doing my dishes right now? And she's like, oh, I just wanted to help, or I just saw these in here, something like that. Some weird ass excuse. Tell me that is not the guiltiest conscience. Tell me that is not the guiltiest fucking response you could have had. Why are you doing my dishes? Why are you doing my dishes right now? So I tell her, I'm like, you don't have to do my dishes, girl. It's fine. Just come back in the room. It's a little blurry right there in that little situation for me. I don't remember if she came right back in the room or if she continued to do my dishes. I don't remember. But eventually we did all end up in the bed again, all talking, sitting in a little kumbaya circle. I don't know. And then it gets late, so then I drive her home. She was staying with a friend or something at this point, so I drove her home. After that, we kind of dropped the situation. We saw we weren't going to get our money back, and we didn't know 100% solidly what happened to our money. So I continued to take her as a client, and everything was fine. You know, it wasn't weird until a mutual friend of ours, who was also in that Bible group chat. Yeah, a mutual friend of ours. She comes to me for nails as well. She's a very loyal client, love her down. And she comes to me at her appointment and tells me that she's not friend with this girl who stole my money. She's not friends with her anymore. She's not cool with her right now. I'm like, girl, what happened? She tells me what happened between her and her. You know, it's not my story to tell, so I'm not gonna air it out right now. But she was very inconsiderate. This girl was being very inconsiderate to our mutual friend. And it did not end well. You know? So I proceed to air out my feelings, air out my opinions, right? And also air out our backstory. And I tell her the entire story of how this girl stole our money and continues to deny it. And she says, oh yeah, she told me about that, but she told me a way different story. I'm like, what did she tell you? She was lying about the littlest things. And when you lie about shit that doesn't even matter in the story, that's how you know you're lying about everything. She said that I was the one doing her nails that night and that me and my boyfriend ambushed her or attacked her or something. She also said that we kicked her out afterwards. Girl, I drove you home in my vehicle. I drove you home in my car. And there were a couple other little details that just like were not worth lying about. So there was really no point. But yeah, after this appointment, I had texted her to confront her about the lies she had been spreading. And she proceeds to tell me that I'm a bad friend and that I was betraying her and that me accusing her of this was me doing something bad to her. Basically just victimizing herself the entire time, even though my $1,000 went missing. My money went missing. My money went missing. Conveniently after you stole $1,000 from your boyfriend and then had to give it back. Okay. So we're just arguing back and forth, paragraphs after paragraphs. And I see this isn't going anywhere, so I end the conversation. I'm pretty sure I blocked her. I think. I don't know. She still has me on TikTok, I'm pretty sure. I don't have her blocked on TikTok. I don't think she has me blocked. I'm pretty sure she still knows my account. And this will probably show up on her For You page. But girl, I didn't say your name, so. But yeah, that's it as far as stealing the money. And she also proceeded to go to her private story after our altercation or whatever. She proceeds to go to her private story and post her nails that I did on her, saying that they were popping off like press-ons. And one thing I don't do is you lying on my business. This was like her second or third fill. Like she had those nails on for like a month, more than a month. Like these nails had been on there. So I took it upon myself to take screenshots with dates on the day she got her nails done, how many nails she had left and everything. I posted all the receipts and I said, do not lie on my business. Thank you. It's just really weird to me that I didn't do anything to you. I'm confronting you about doing something foul to me. And now I become the bad guy to the point where you have to lie on social media about the integrity of my business and the integrity and sturdiness of my nails. But I digress. I have plenty of clients who can definitely vouch for the fact that my nails last at least 4 weeks. At least 4 weeks. So yeah, I know this is a long story time. I know a lot of y'all like the long story times, so I don't know if that's something I should apologize for. But I try to get everything into one part. Every single time I've tried to get it into one part, but this was too much. It was too much. I had to add everything in. And before y'all get on me for not fighting her or doing more about it than just confronting her over text and just like talking in person, I have a business. You know what I mean? I can't just fight everyone who does something wrong to me because I'd be fighting all fucking day. You know, and nobody wants to, like, if you look up a service provider, you don't want to just see me fighting people. You know, I don't want to seem like that because I'm not someone who's aggressive. I'm not someone who wants to fight everybody, but I will fight if I need to. You feel me? And she absolutely deserves an ass whooping for what she did to me and my man, but karma gonna get her. God's gonna have his way. So yeah, that's the end of the story time. Follow for more. I'm going to come out with more story times. I'm sorry it's been so long, y'all, but there will be more. Love y'all.
My daughter died in 2020, and I just want to tell my story. For years, I've been fighting with bringing this story out or saying how I feel to kind of like keep away from the drama, but I'm ready to tell my story. Okay, so backstory, I was 15 years old when I got a girl pregnant. And I was 16 years old when she gave birth. Yeah. Okay, fast forward to the night. I was at work. I used to work at Five Guys in Philadelphia. I got off. I talked to my daughter. She was okay. She was fine. It was maybe about like 10:30. I was on FaceTime with her. And she was fine. When I talked to her, she was at her godparents' house. Her godparents was in charge of getting the baby from her house to her grandparents' house, which is her mom's mom. But her mom was supposed to be there as well. Okay, now it was 1:38 in the morning. I had just laid down. You know, I was doing some family stuff with my family when I got off work at like 11 o'clock. So I was, you know, I have a nephew that's 4 months older than my daughter. So, you know, just kicking it with them and whatever. I got to bed at 1 something. So at 1:38 in the morning, I got a phone call, and it's this voice that I would never, ever, ever forget. But I got a phone call from the Philadelphia police, and they asked me, they said, I'm gonna say Slat, but they said my name. They said, is this Slat? Yeah. And she was like, are you the father to Azaria Smith? I said, yes. She said, well, can you get to Algar Street right now? Immediately, I felt a panic. I felt scared. This was like one of the worst calls I could have ever got. Like, I was scared, but I didn't think death. Like, that wasn't, I thought maybe she hit her head, maybe she's in the hospital, maybe, but I did not think death. I was on the phone, I was hysterical. I'm like, please, what's going on, my baby? They told me that they couldn't tell me over the phone and that I needed to get there. I was 17 years old at the time because my daughter passed away 1 year after, 1 year and 1 month exactly after she was born. I ran upstairs. My mom, she was asleep. I said, Mom, give me your car keys. I took her keys. I drove around the corner. I maybe got there in about 5 or 6 minutes. And soon as I pulled in, a police car pulled in right behind me. I got out the car. I'm like, where's my baby? I'm going crazy. Like, where's my child? Like, the police officers and me, we got into a little scuffle because they told me that they couldn't let me in there. And we got into it. It was what it was. I remember a police officer sitting me down. You know, he was trying to tell it to me, and I like ran up the steps and tried to open up the door to where I knew my daughter was at. When I got to the door, the lady that called my phone, I will never forget her voice. I remember I grabbed the door and she was like, "We don't want you to go in there because your daughter is dead." I remember falling out immediately. Like, my heart, it just felt like it would never, ever, 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 ever be the same. Like, when I heard that lady say that to me, it was like unreal. I couldn't believe that that was a reality. Okay, so I fall down. Police pick me up. They carry me across the street. Again, I'm only saying what I seen in my own eyes. The police carry me across the street. I didn't think nothing of it. Next thing I know, I see the police grabbing the grandparents, dragging them out the house. The mom, the dad, well, the stepdad, dragging them out the house, in handcuffs. It was just, and I just remember screaming like, I'm gonna, and I was hurt. Like, my daughter was my best friend. Like, you know, I was hurt, and I'm still am hurt about it, but, you know, I've learned and I've grown a lot. But, okay, so at this time, my father had to take a reset. At this time, after they dragged them out and they put them in the cars or whatever they was gonna do, we are now trying to reach out to my baby mom. Well, you know, we're calling her phone. I called her maybe about 40 or 50 times, like, trying to tell her what's going on. And the police, they specifically told me, do not text her and tell her what's going on. Let her get here the same way that you got here and figure it out. But after a while, her just not answering, our baby is gone. Like, she's gone. She's dead. Like, it's no more. Immediately when I sent that text message, she called me back. And she was like, what? Mind you, to my knowledge, she was already supposed to be here. My baby was never supposed to be just sitting with her grandparents. The communications that I had, she was supposed to be there already. I didn't know that she wasn't there until I got the call and I pulled up. So when mom and the other guy pulls up, at this point now I know that you were with him and your daughter is being killed. And it's like nothing's like you. Why would you not answer the phone a million times? Like, if I'm calling you, you think I'm not pressing you about what you're doing. Clearly, it's an emergency. If we have a child together, you should be answering the phone. But that's nor here nor there. She pulls up, do her little, "Where's my baby? Where's my baby? My baby." She does all of that. They do the same thing that they did with me with her. And we had to go down to the police station. Everybody had to give a statement. I wasn't there, so I can only tell from what you guys, when y'all called me, I wasn't there. My daughter was well taken care of when she was with me. I will say there are some things that I still have questions about. I want to know, why was my daughter foaming at the mouth and balled up behind the door, as it states on paperwork, as I have the documentation of what the police seen. I also want to know why it took so long for the police to be called. And I will state, I'm going to say allegedly, everybody in the house was high. Everybody in the house was high. Yeah. And in my heart, I feel like there was some foul play here. It's like I know my story, but it's just so hard to tell it because this was such an eventful moment for me. Like, I feel like I lost everything, you know. That was my best friend, you know, like, that was literally my best friend. It's like, my life is so much different now that she's not here. It's like, I can't believe it. But rest in peace, Sar. That's my truth. That is what happened to my daughter. Now, of course, there are more details leading up to like now and stuff like that. But just for the people that ask questions or they want to know, or even just for myself, like, rest in peace, Sar. And before this video ends, I do want to say something else that kind of stuck out to me. You know, I remember this one paramedic, he came up to me and he said, "We are the best team in Philadelphia." He said, "When they called us, your daughter was already gone." Those words stuck with me forever. Forever. I get chills just even thinking about it, just even talking about it. Rest in peace, Sar. And to just an update on my life and what I have going on now, you guys, I am a rapper. I am doing amazing. I have excelled so much from that situation, and I have learned so much from the trauma. I never knew how strong I was. I never knew that I would be able to overachieve or accomplish all the things that I did now after what happened to me, but I just kept going. I kept fighting for what was right. And I'm here every day making my daughter proud. So I love you so much, Sar. And I will make a part 2.
Time about the time that I fell in love with somebody after 2 years of friendship, found out they were actually a woman. This story is actually insane because it spans so much time and so many different stages of life. I was probably like 22, 21 when it started, and I was heavily on Tumblr at the time. I had a lot of mutuals on there. We had like, there was just always something happening. Big community, especially a lot of strangers that I didn't know. I made a lot of friends on there, and it was normal. There was this one time I remember coming across somebody's posts, and they had just been going through a breakup, and it was just text. The whole profile was just text posts. They were really sad, so I reached out to them and I was like, "I'm so sorry you're hurting so much, but I just want you to know that your words are gorgeous. They really strike a chord within me. You're a beautiful writer, blah, blah, blah." This person didn't have a name or any photos or like any identifying factors, anything on their profile. It was just personal writing. We started to be kind of friends on there, back and forth, just saying sweet little messages, nothing crazy. I had no idea who this person was, how old they were, nothing. And then at some point, I find out their name is Dylan. I get a little bit more backstory, you know, they're brokenhearted over one of their exes that they just broke up with, that they had been dating for like 5 years, something like that. I started, I think, taking our conversations off of the app, and it started with texting, and then we got on to Snapchat, and at this point, a long time, like at least 6 months had passed. I think I still didn't know what this person looked like, but I did have a heart crush on them. You know, like when you just connect with somebody, I had a heart crush. And they knew what I looked like because I was very open, and I would post pictures on Tumblr. I knew how old they were. I knew we were the same age. I knew we were both in college. When we started talking on Snapchat is when I started to see what he looked like, and at the time Snapchat was pretty newish and you couldn't fake it. I know now you can like upload things on there, like it was all live and there was no way to screenshot or anything like that. It didn't even have the chat feature yet, it was just photos. Basically, I thought that what I was seeing was this real person, Dylan. I don't know how it was faked. I still don't understand, because back then you couldn't, but I guess you could if you really knew what you were doing. And yeah, I would get all these videos of like the places where he was, what he was doing, who he was hanging out with, and I was also Snapchatting his friends because I developed friendships with some of his college friends. We would talk on the phone regularly, all the time, like at least 2 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, phone calls long, hours long. We're texting all the time. This person was Dylan more often than they were their true selves. But anyways, I'll get to that. We also realized that he lived, his hometown was like one town over from my hometown where I lived, which was actually incredible, but he hardly went back there because he was living in New York and it was just a lot farther. He was going to NYU, blah, blah, blah. I started texting with his family members, his mom, his little sister. I just knew his whole backstory. He came to visit one winter and I was the one that couldn't see him because I was busy with school things, but like we were in the same towns at the same time. At one point he was like, oh, did I see you driving? I was like, oh, maybe, like I was out at that time. Anyways, this would have kept going for a very long time, but I started to develop feelings. And you know, when you have feelings for someone, you're really excited about it, you talk to your friends about it, you're giddy. I was falling in love, and it was mutual. He was also falling in love. I was talking to my friend who actually lives in the town that Dylan is from. I think all I did was just say the name, and she's like, Masa, don't you know who Dylan is? And I was like, yeah, I do. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And she's like, no. There was this whole like scandal that happened in my school where this person was catfishing their best friend, Marissa. And then everyone found out that it was really this girl, I'll say, pretending to be this guy Dylan, and they dated and they had this whole like explosive relationship. But then the person came out and admitted to what they did, and like nobody likes them, nobody talks to them, but they're literally not really a guy. I'm like, what do you mean? I talked to this person on the phone. Like, I do know R, but that's just one of his friends. And I did know R. And here's the freaking craziest freaking part is that I had a friendship with R as well. And we even I was going to this one concert one time, and she was like, oh, I'll be there, but I didn't see her. Just freaky stuff. Like, she knew where I was at any given moment because I was always either talking to her or talking to Dylan. I'm like freaked out because the whole Marissa person was the ex that Dylan was moving on from and writing all those sad Tumblr posts about. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm so freaking terrified. My friend is like, no, this is common knowledge. Ask literally anybody who went to my school. So I believe her, right? I call R and I'm like, I know who you are. I know what you've done. I'm freaked out. I need to meet up. Like, you need to explain yourself. So luckily I have two friends for moral support there with me. That same day, R drives over, is like, please don't tell anyone, please don't tell anyone, because they obviously don't want anyone to know they're still doing this shit years later. Meets up with me and is like, I am a straight person. I have pretended to be Dylan for 5 however many years. He's a part of me, but I can switch in and out. I don't love you, but Dylan loves you. And when I'm Dylan, I love you. I've been using a voice changer. I've been using fake texting apps to pretend to be Dylan's sister, Dylan's mom, Dylan's roommates, Dylan's friends. Anytime you've Snapchatted Dylan, it's like an acquaintance, but he lets me use his photos and videos. And he doesn't know what I'm doing with them, but he lets me have them. Just insane. Insane. And I'm sitting there crying, heartbroken. This is the creepy part, is the voice was the exact same. It was just like higher pitch. So I'm hearing Dylan talk to me, saying all these things like, I don't actually love you like that, but I care deeply about you. And so in my system, I'm extremely confused. I'm like, I hate you, but also like, you're the person that I love. It was a very cold, hard ending of like a close person in my life that I had just completely died, and I had no one to process it with because it's embarrassing, you know? No one understood. I even like one time reached out to R and I was like, this is really hard for me to move on, to let go of this friendship. And she was like, well, you can email Dylan and I won't read it or anything, but if you ever want to like send something, it's been therapeutic for me to write to him. My therapist told me to create an email for him, and I've been writing to him too. Never did that, just eventually did just get over it. But I kept tabs on R 10-ish years ago, last I checked. she was dating a woman. She came out, which is great because she was gay, even though at the time she thought she was straight. That makes sense why she was dating women. Is now married to that, I think, her first girlfriend. I don't know. I actually don't know the true details. That was 2 or more years of my life that I'll never get back. I think she's just a really good writer and needs to write a script or create characters for like a book or something, because it's actually insane.
I went on a horrible date in 2022, and I've never spoken about it publicly. My best friends know about it, but I've never spoken about it publicly. So I figured now's the time. I have 2 full front and back pages of notes about it because it was so awful. Let me preface by saying that this was during COVID. We went out to eat, me, my mom, my cousin, and my aunt, and he was our waiter. We'll call him Matthew. He was our waiter, and he had a mask on. And my mom was like, oh, like he looks pretty cute from what we can tell with the mask. I was like, and she's like, I want to give him your number. And I was single, and I was just like, okay, I guess, like, why not? Like, let's be a little crazy. So we start texting a few days later, and we're planning this date. He lives in New Jersey, I live in New York at the time. And okay, so now we're gonna begin. He said he didn't want to pay tolls, so I should meet him in New Jersey, which is already strike number 1. Like, you're making me pay the tolls to go on our date. Okay. Then he asked if I wanted to drive closer to him instead of meeting in the middle. No, I said no. Then the date was supposed to be at 6:45. He didn't text me until 6:40 that he was going to be late. I was already like looking for a parking spot. We were going to meet in Weehawken, New Jersey, like by the water, like the skyline of the city and like the water and whatever. I'm looking for parking. He texts me he's going to be late. First it was that he was held up at the store, and then it was that, oh, I was helping a tenant because he owns a house. He ended up being a full hour late. And I figured, like, at this point I'm already here, like, I'm not going to cancel, because I was thinking about canceling, but I was like, I'm already here. Bad choice. I should have drove home. It was a full hour late. At this point, my phone was almost dead. So I went into Starbucks, and I asked some girls if I could borrow their charger, which they did. Thank you. He finally walked in, and I was immediately so embarrassed because he looked nothing like what I thought he was going to look like. It was very jarring. I was like embarrassed as soon as I saw him. And the girls that I borrowed the charger from, I immediately looked at them because I was embarrassed for myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, like everyone is perceiving this right now. Like these girls know that I'm waiting for someone. He walks in, I look at them, and they have this look on their face like that, like they're embarrassed for me, or like they just think I'm freaking crazy because why are you with him? Okay. His hair was longer than mine was, and my hair was longer than this at the time. His hair was longer than mine was, which is fine. I just wasn't expecting, like, the long hair is fine if that's your thing. I just wasn't expecting that. Okay. He paid for the Starbucks, which was nice, and that was the only nice thing he did for the entirety of the date. He immediately started talking about himself for 30 minutes straight. After we got the Starbucks, we walked over to like the benches by the water, and he was talking about himself for 30 minutes straight, telling me his whole life story, all the girls he's been with. He said one wanted to marry him, but her mom didn't like him and said he was going nowhere with his life. He said he lived in a van for 6 months in California, and his van is crazy, bro. He sent me a picture of his van like after the date, literally like a Scooby-Doo van. Literally like a Scooby-Doo van. He kept talking about the house he bought and all the work he's doing on it, and he kept saying, I can't wait for you to see my house. Sir, I'm not going to your house. Like, this is established. Like, I'm not going to your house. I didn't want to drive closer to you. I'm not going to your house. And he kept saying, on our next date. Sir, read the room. He kept saying how he's so busy with house stuff and that that's all he does. But then he says, I love having women over my house. They help me make things look better. Ew. At this point, again, we're still sitting on the benches near the water. And he kept saying how stressed out he was and literally laid down and was putting his head in my lap. And I just like didn't know what to do. Like, Like, what do you do? What do you do as this grown man has his head in your lap? He said he lit a candle for me at his house so that it smells good when I get there. Again, sir, I'm not going to your house. And he said, I feel bad that you live in New York because the toll is crazy. Like, yeah, bro, like, I'm the one who paid for it. Like, what are you talking about? The toll's crazy. You should freaking Zell me half the toll. Then he said, parents love him. When I come to your house, I'll bring your parents wine. They'll love me. I got it like that. You're never meeting my parents. I mean, you already met my mom, but you're not meeting them again. Then he randomly asked me whose hair was longer. Immediately ick. And started touching my hair. And again, like, I don't know what to, like, I was just so taken aback. Like, I was so overstimulated already on this date. Okay, so... whatever, I'm making conversation, and I asked him what hair products he uses, and he was telling me, and then he said he shampoos more than he conditions, and I said I think it's supposed to be the opposite, and he said, oh, our first fight. Literally want to throw up. He said we can do a hair mask on our second date. No. He kept bragging about himself, so I literally said, please stop bragging about yourself. And I said it, and I was just staring straight ahead. I wasn't even looking at him. Like, I said it straight face, staring straight ahead. And I said, please stop bragging about yourself. And he thought it was a joke. And he was laughing, saying, oh, like, you can't even look at me. Like, no, bro, I really can't. I was playing with my hair, just, like, out of habit. And he said, can I play with your hair? And my dumbass said, sure. And he picked up, like, a whole chunk and was just, like, stroking it. I was like, what do I do, bro? Like, I'm sitting here and he's just off to the side. Then he said, you know, I wanted to do my hair nice for you. And I said, yeah, but you didn't do it nice and you were still late. He kept sprinkling in bitch throughout the conversation. He was talking about his house stuff and how he's doing work on his house. And he's like, have you ever spackled a house, bitch? Like, he kept saying it like that. Like, bitch at the end of the sentence. Like, have you ever spackled a house, bitch? Okay. Last page. He was obsessed with how I talk with my hands, and he said, that's so Italian of you. That's so cute. That's my love language. Like, what does that even mean, bro? Like, I swear, like, guys just, like, say things that they think are cute. They don't even make sense. Then he started talking about how he lived in Russia when he was young, and he's like, ugh, you don't even know about my Moscow days. You don't know so much about me. Why would I, bro? Like, I'm so confused. Then he said, okay, it got bad. He wanted to show me artwork in his car that, like, his grandfather made. I don't know how we arrived to this, but his grandfather made artwork, and he said he had it in his car and he wanted to show me. So I didn't know how to say no in the moment. And I also thought that I could beat him up because of his stature and because of my pent up rage from this date. So I thought, like, I would be fine. And I was fine. He tried to get me to take artwork with me. Like, he wanted me to take some artwork. And I'm just like, no, like, that's your grandfather's artwork. Like, I can't take it. He's like, no, it's okay. I was like, no, like, really, I'm okay. We started walking to my car. I didn't even want him to walk me. He insisted on walking me back to my car. Like, I just wanted to be like, peace out, like, leave me alone. But he insisted. So we walked back to my car. We're, like, almost at my car. And he's like, we should take a selfie and send it to your mom. She would love it. First of all, don't talk about what my mom would love. You don't know her. I don't want a selfie of us in my phone. But we did, in fact, take a selfie. It gives me PTSD. Like, it truly scares me every time I look at it. I will not be sharing it here. And then, finally, when we got to my car, he kept asking me questions about my car and, like, clearly was trying to, like, work up to making a move, which, no. So I, like, you know, finessed, just gave him, like, a quick hug and was like, bye. Got in my car hella fast, locked the door, and then he started walking away. And that was it. And then he texted me basically wanting to go on another date, and I was just like, no. So that's the date that I went on in 2022.
once again finished getting ready with me because I shot a whole video and I don't like it. So we're gonna finish getting ready again. This story time today is about the man that I saw last summer, beginning of last summer, and it was low-key freaking hilarious. I'm not gonna hold you. It started out with me and my homegirl hanging out at her job that had a pool and a hot tub. And I was like, yo, can I invite some bad bitches over? She was like, duh, obviously. So I was like, oh my gosh, bet, ski. So I invited over this guy who had been hitting me up for a couple weeks at this point, and he was kind of cute. He was kind of fine. He brings his friend from Cancun or whatever the fuck he's from, and we're all hitting it off. It's actually fucking hilarious. We're all in the pool, and they start telling us about their jobs as day traders and rappers. I don't know if y'all ever fucked with an underground rapper. It's not usually good. I'll give them this. It was actually, their music was actually pretty damn fire. I'm not gonna hold you. But what got me is that my guy, we'll call him Pete. Pete kept fucking yapping about the fact that he was going on tour for his music that he never even released. How are you going to go on tour for music that people don't even know yet? Whatever, we take a bunch of digis, like we're flicking the fuck up. My girl is vibing with her guy, and she's like, dude, like, where the fuck did you find these guys? Like, I'm low-key fucking with their vibe. And I'm like, we end up getting bored of swimming, so we go on a little side quest, because what is there to do in the middle of buttfuck nowhere? Go to a superstore. So we go to Meijer, and they're low-key just trolling. The best they were doing was, it was kind of really funny watching them run around on their little pink bicycles. But we get back in the car, and they're like, so whose house are we going to now? We were like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a trolling tool, man. This isn't a get in your pants tool. We ended up going back to her work, and they booked a $500 hotel suite at her job. Mind you, we're teenagers. like, yes, we have big boy jobs and we've been graduated and shit, but, like, we're still teenagers. We don't have a lot of money. So to watch them drop that amount of money in one night on some random ass chicks was kind of like, okay, I'll give you that one. Maybe day trading or whatever could be paying off. I'm not sure about that shit because my rich ass uncle told me it's a waste of time. And who am I going to believe? The one with a lot of money or the guy who's trying to blow up on TikTok? I can't hate because I'm trying to blow up on TikTok, but, like, that's actually what inspired this story time, is the fact that I've been seeing him post on his Snapchat, follow the TikTok, do this, do that, like, get your boy up, this, because I think he's at, like, 15K, so he's doing good, but he's just cringe. So fast forward, the guy who checks us into the $500 hotel actually was my ex's best friend, so I'm sitting there, I'm trying to hide because obviously he's going to report back to headquarters, and I'm like, do I care? Not really, but do I want to hear about it? No, because I was in fact fucking him just a few weeks prior. I never claimed to be a good. Anywho, so we're at the hotel room. It's a suite, so there's 2 rooms, a living room, a full kitchen. It's pretty nice. They're playing their music for us. We're like, okay, this is actually really nice. I'm mixing up drinks for everybody. I don't even know. We end up going our separate ways, and after going our separate ways, he's like, my guy, Pete, he's like, yo, do you think they're done in there? And I'm like, it's none of our fucking business. Like, why does it matter? Like, let's hit the hay. Like, let's go to bed. He's like, no. He walks over to their room, starts banging on the door. Wake up. It's time to fucking wake up. They let us in. We walk in. We're all sitting on the bed. My homegirl, Loki, I don't even think she had fucking clothes on yet. And we're all just chatting. They start debriefing about how good that shit was in front of us. Never experienced that. I was like, don't get me wrong, I tell my homegirl everything, but right after the fact is crazy. Discussing the deed with the deed in the room, crazy. I low-key took some of their plays. I took notes on some of their plays. Anyways, we go back round 2. Round 2's over. We're chit-chatting again. They come, like, my homegirl and her man end up coming into our room. It's me and my homegirl sitting at the, they start trolling the fuck out of us. And usually that's our job. So we're sitting here like, I guess we'll just let it run its course. Let me give you an example of the shit they were doing. They were, like, saying absolute fucking nonsense, feeding off of each other for, I'm not even joking, probably an hour. This is what they were saying. Shit like this. So, like, if you're a fish, right? Think of fish. Fish swim in the ocean, right? Okay, follow me? So if fish swim in the ocean, that means teacher salaries are fluid, right? Right. And then if fish's salaries are fluid as well, that means dogs, that shit's goated. Can you imagine sitting and listening to that for a fucking hour? It was kind of funny. I probably have videos of it. The amount of evidence I have of us hanging out just in case they ever became, like, famous rappers or TikTok stars, so then I could get my little 5 minutes of fame and be like, hey, I used to fuck that guy. And I look damn good in the pictures, too, so you cannot play with me. I lost my ring, but that's okay. So we also watched them do a whole Magic Mike routine. That was kind of funny, but it's the morning now, right? My girl's got to go home. The boys are like, no, like stay with us. We want to hang out with you. We don't want to drive home yet because they live an hour away from us. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, sure. I'm damn near cosplaying like these bitches because I'm wearing the Nike Tech, their skull caps, and their sweatpants because I thought it'd be funny. The information I found out about my guy Pete, about his friend, is crazy. Like, I saw videos of him with these girls because they like saw me as like one of the guys, I guess, which first of all, that makes their homeboy gay, but like, okay. So they start showing me all these videos. I'm reporting back to my homegirl like, oh my gosh, like this dude's a fucking dog. Like, don't you dare catch feelings. Like, don't you fucking dare. What does she do? What does she do? So we end up hanging out with them a few times throughout the summer. They're okay. I don't like my guy. I'm not attracted to him in any way other than maybe a little bit sexual. And he had dank ass breath. I can say this. He might see this because he's very active on social media, but he might not. I don't care. Your breath stunk most of the time we hang out. Mine probably did too because I'm a smoker, but like, I'm just letting you know your breath fucking reeked. I had to get that off my chest. I ended up finding out that Pete's friend, my homegirl's man, is a foreign exchange student and he's from Cancun. So my guy, Pete, is over here like, yeah, I'm going back to Cancun with him. I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy. Like, for how long? He's like, for 3 months. I'm at this point, I don't fucking like him, so I'm counting down the days for him to fucking leave. I know that's evil, but I don't fucking like that. The last time that we hung out, I was literally sobbing because he was trying to, like, confess his feelings for everything, and I didn't feel the same, and he wouldn't leave me alone about it, so I literally cried on the floor for, like, 30 minutes. Because I was frustrated, and I cry when I'm frustrated. I was like, leave me the fuck alone. Mind you, the whole time my homegirl's getting cracked upstairs. Anywho, it's the day before he has to leave comes along, and because he blocked me on everything. Because I told him, I said, you can find better than me. You can find someone who's going to have the same values, have the same wishes. Because he was very religious. I'm not. So he's like, okay, fine, whatever. He blocks me. He unblocks me. He starts spam calling my phone the night before he has to leave. He's like, all I want is you. Like, it's me and you against the world. Like, let me see you one time. Let me see you tonight before I leave tomorrow. And I was like, no, because I did consider it. But why would I go start dating a man who's going to go to Cancun, who's a known whore, was talking about how he loves all the bitches in Cancun? Like, no, I'm going to get cheated on. And even if I wouldn't have, I'm not taking the risk. Because if I ever got cheated on, I generally think that man would be castrated by my own hands. So we stopped talking. He's in Cancun. I'm seeing him post and stuff. He's having the time of his life, partying, clubbing, doing his thing. I'm like, that's not very religious of you, but like, you know what? Pop off, king. Have a good time. Like, no judgment here. He ends up coming back and he reaches out to me and he was like, hey, like, can we try again? And I was like, no. And he was like, can we please try again? Like, let me take you out just one time. And I say, no. And it's not like this guy's ugly or anything. I think he's pretty cute. I just wasn't fucking with him. That's okay. I finally agreed to hang out with him. I was in Spain at this point, so it's September. I finally agreed to hang out with him if he took me shoe shopping. And he was like, okay, I can do that. And I was like, yeah, but you pay. Like, I don't want someone to drive me around. Like, I want someone to buy my shoes for me. And he was like, okay, fine. We never ended up going because, once again, I didn't want to fucking see the dude. But yeah, every now and then, that was scary. I don't know if I was recording for the last couple clips I just did, but like I said, met his whole family, still didn't want to fuck with them, actually made me want to not fuck with him even more because he's kind of weird. And every now and then, to this day, he'll still hit me up like here and there. And what inspired this story time, I don't know if I said this, was I've been seeing him spam on his Snapchat about how he's growing his TikTok account, and I really want to flex in his face that I have 30K followers. Do I care about followers? No, not really. If you want to stick around and listen to my story times, that's cool as fuck. If you don't want to follow, that's fine. It literally does not matter to me, but he's so focused on it. So that's why I think it's so funny that I got more than him in like a day. And he's been doing this for like, what, 3 years? I'm just malicious and I just don't like the guy. But I'd probably hit it again. You wish I had red flags. You wish that I had red flags, but I do not have them. Emotionally unstable. Overshares. Controlling. No. Me? Oh, gosh. No. Not. So I can never get over anything in my life, but it's kind of great because it makes for good content. I'm miserable, but like y'all get to watch. So get ready with me while I give a little lore update on Fivesome Guy. So Y'all had been begging for a freaking, like, official update about what happened with this guy. Literally nothing much. He drunk called me a couple times in the middle of the night, and I answered one of them, and then I was like, you know what, we're choosing peace. I'm going the fuck to bed. Sends me this whole big apology about how he wants to get back together and make it official, like, official, and date, and how it'd be so super swag and awesome. And I basically just said, no, because you put my health at risk and you lied. Like, whatever, right? Over and done with, okay? Out of sight, out of mind. I already have, like, 5 new boyfriends, and I love them so much, and they're all my little babies. But actually, I think I'm gonna block all of them. This experience literally made me not want to have a boyfriend, but excruciatingly made me want a boyfriend so bad, because I got so close, and it was just like, I had to let it go. And now I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like, do I want to be miserable with a man, or do I want to be miserable? Okay, let's calm. Miserable with a man, miserable without a man. I might as well get some flowers and chocolate out of the exchange. So there's this girl, let's call her Sammy. I love Sammy to death. She is such a boss-ass bitch. She's so gorgeous, she's so kind, and she's actually funny. And actually, we've been kind of sort of flirting for a little bit, but, like, low-key flirting, where it's kind of like a, if you're down, I'm down, but, like, I'm joking, but, like, I'm not joking, that kind of thing, right? Because we've been friends for a little bit, but we're not close friends. So she knows none of the lore. On Valentine's Day, we were talking about our little sneaky links. She sent me a little photo of hers, and then I sent mine back, obviously, because I was laid the fuck up. It's Valentine's Day. So that inspires, like, we kind of just start sending our little excursions to each other, sending our little boyfriends, clipping them, because it's hilarious, okay? I'm sorry. If you're a girl and you're kind of a hoe, you get it. So she sent me this guy last night, and I just see the side of his face when he's laying in bed, and she was like, oh my gosh, like, it was kind of mid, but like he's all right, I guess. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny, blah, blah, blah. She texted me back the next day, today, and she was like, yeah, and it was, like, so weird, because he literally went, after the fact, he literally went to the bar with his friends and left me there. I was like, damn, like, in his house? Like, that's so crazy. Like, you could have looted anything. And she was like, yeah, no, like, I took the rest of his Twisted Teas. I was like, good. Like, that's fucking funny. I probably would have done the same thing, okay? A bev for my time. Come on, we gotta recharge after that. She ends up sending another photo of him, and then, like, a video. Like, she made, like, a TikTok, and then she sent, like, a photo and a video of her putting his feet on him, and I thought that was so funny. I look closer. I'm like, I recognize that background. That background was my house for, like, 3 months. She slept with Orgy Man. No hate to her. She had no idea. And she's still a boss-ass bitch, and I love her. But, like, oh my god, another baddie down. Like, she's way too sexy for that man. Like, I'm talking, she's like walking goddess, and he's just there. I can't say a whole lot, because I was, in fact, in the same boat. Like, he got me too, okay? He got me too. What, his body count's probably 180. And I always had the saying, there's absolutely no judgment as long as you're doing everything ethically and safely. But he was not. So there is judgment there, because he was not. This bitch was busting it down like he was about to leave for the army. He was just busting it down for the love of the game. I mean, like, me too, but, like, I'm allowed to do. So, naturally, I give her all the lore. I say, here's what the fuck happened with this guy. Because I'm at work when I open this. My heart drops to my fucking balls. To my balls. I'm sick to my stomach. I had just ordered food. I probably have like 5 tables to take care of. Nothing matters in that moment. My little brother's sitting at the counter. He's going, what the fuck is wrong? I set down my phone. He takes it from me. He reads it and he goes, okay. But I never told him the lore. Because I was afraid that he was either going to not give a fuck and I was going to be embarrassed and I was going to like think that I'm overreacting and then I would go back to him. Or he was going to go there and beat the guy up. There's no in between with him. He either doesn't give a fuck or he's overly protective. So then I give brother the lore. He's sitting there like, damn, like that's kind of fucking crazy. And I was like, I know. He did not give a fuck. I'm like, that is totally fine. Like, that's fine. I don't care. Then it's over and done with, so it doesn't even fucking matter. But my fucking brother has the audacity to say, oh, damn, that was the bitch I was trying to fuck, too. First of all, that's my bitch. That was my ball first, bitch. Thank you. She was going to be mine. When I tell her all of this, she was like, well, damn, like, I guess we just have to fuck for it to come full circle. I'm over here like... But at the same time in my head, I'm like, I can't. He got to my baddie first. This evil gremlin man. I don't know how he even pulls these baddies. Because I like ugly guys. So they must like ugly guys too. I mean, he's cute. He's cute. but he's not that cute, and he has really stinky feet. I mean, so do I, but his are worse. She's like, I think I'm just gonna keep him in my back pocket. Like, I am trying to, like, get on this, or I'm trying to, like, date this one guy, blah, blah, blah. So I think I'm just gonna keep him for rats because, like, the sex is pretty good. And I was like, bitch, I know it was good. I was there all day, every day. Like, there's a reason for that. But I'm sitting there, I'm, like, spam texting her, like, oh my gosh, like, just please be careful, like, get tested, like, make sure my thing's fucking broken. Cherry on top, bitch. My thing is broken. I'm having such a good time today. Like, genuinely, like, nothing, I don't even know. And work was, you know when it's busy but it's slow at a restaurant? That's what it was. So I made shit for money, but I had to do, like, twice the work. Anyway, so now my hand's covered in makeup. Thank you. Clean Girl Aesthetic is wiping it off on whatever fabric surface that isn't black that's next to you. I'm literally still in my work clothes. Like, I'm so tweaked. I just had to, like, tell this story because I'm like, I feel like I'm tweaking. Like, neither of them did anything wrong. But in my head, it's just like, oh my God, like, that was supposed to be my husband. That was supposed to be your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my man until I had to, like, cut him off because he was trifling. He was fucking crazy. He was fucking, like, crazy. She's like, well, at least we're dick sisters now. Like, that's so cute of us. And I was like, yep, that is so cute. I guess, like, keep my man preoccupied, keep him out of trouble. I don't even know where the fuck he has the time in the day because he picked up a second job. He wasn't gonna barely have any time for me except for, like, certain days. So I guess she fucking she slithered right in. Good for her. Genuinely, absolutely zero hate to her. Like I said, I adore this woman, and how the fuck is she gonna know who my drama is? I didn't post the guy. Why would I post the guy that I'm not dating? You know what I'm saying? So there's absolutely no heat there. I'm just sad. Just telling this story because I'm sad and I'm doing my makeup and you guys like to see. And you guys love to see me suffer. I've been trying to figure out what's fucking missing from my makeup this whole time. Besides the chopped ass nose contour, I don't have my lashes on. I have to still put lashes on and it's already 7 o'clock and I just want to go take pictures and go eat burgers, bro. But I literally show her all of my lore, all of the stuff that she sent me, and she was like, well, like, I'm really sorry that happened to you. Like, that really sucks. Like, men are fucking dogs. And I was like, you're right. They are dogs. I was like, just stay safe. And then I begged her. I said, please go get tested, queen. Especially if I'm trying to crack that. I don't know if I will because he got to her first. And I'm a petty bitch. So now I'm kind of like, well, you are the baddest bitch in the area that likes girlies, but my hatred for that man is too strong. My hatred and my love. Corny as fuck, but like, if he didn't lie to me, we would still be together to this day. We'd be locked in. But like I said, I literally have absolutely zero space to be mad because I'm going out doing the same exact thing. Like, bitch, I probably have like 5 boyfriends right now. Except non-official boyfriend. See, my thing is, I want an actual, like, realsies, for realsies boyfriend. But then they end up being evil. And then if they're not evil, I end up thinking, how do I self-sabotage? Because that's, like, my specialty, apparently. Like, I love making things harder for myself. But, like, I'm trying to decide if I want a boyfriend or if I just want a man to see me as a human being. Like, do girlies know what I'm talking about? But, like, at the same time, I can't get wifed up. Because then where would all the story times go? I could tell my old ones. I have a lot of old ones. Anyways, base makeup's done. I'm gonna go do my lashes on live because my makeup looks fucking crazy if I don't have lashes on. If you're seeing this when it's first uploaded, come watch if you want to hear me yap and crash the fuck out. If not, that's all I have for you guys. Holy shit, I look fucking rough without lashes. But yeah, I wanted to share this because a lot of you guys were harassing me in my comments and DMs saying I don't post enough, so here you fucking go. Here's this for you. I had a great time recording it. Kind of got to let out my emotions a little bit. Let me know what the fuck the next story time should be on because give me a prompt and I probably have a terrible story about men in regards to it. Okay, thanks.
Moms will literally ask us, why do you flinch all the time? Like, do these look familiar to you? What about this one? Huh? Ring a bell?
Let's just go crazy with story times. I'm already ready, so don't get ready with me, but stay and listen. My first date experience starts off with a man in a Spider-Man suit. It was Halloween night last year, and me and my homegirl were at Walmart. We're walking out. She sees a group of guys that she thinks is cute. What does she do? She fucking barks at them. Full on, like, from her soul, like, woo! like, barks at them. They naturally flip their head over and they're like, who the fuck is barking at us? I shove her into the car. I'm like, let's fucking go. Because we're on the way to a Halloween party. I'm dressed damn near naked. I'm wearing a one piece that's shorts and then an Attack on Titan jacket on top with a little straps. You know how to get in. She's wearing a really cute little racing outfit. Loved it. Oh my gosh, I literally wanted to eat her up right there. But I'm saying, you know, our asses are out. We cannot be barking at random men because that's putting us in danger. Let's get in the car. We get into the car. They follow us for 10 minutes, right? They follow us for 10 minutes around this town. Eventually, I'm out of gas because I was supposed to get gas immediately after Walmart. So I pull into the Quick Trip, a little Midwest girly over here. We pull into the Quick Trip. They follow us because I thought we lost them. No, they found us because I was in a big-ass white Jeep, okay? With multiple dents and bumper stickers. It's very recognizable. They pull in front of us. We're at the gas pump. They're over in the parking spaces. Two of them run out to our windows, one on each side. One's on my window. I haven't even gotten out to pump gas yet. One's on her window. They're flirting it up with us. The guy who came to my window, he was the driver in their car. He was T. Like, he was batty, okay? And I was like, you still did, in fact, follow us. Granted, I did make it a little bit of a game. I was revving my little Jeep engine. There we go. Eventually, we exchanged socials, and they're like, hey, you're trying to go to a function with us tonight. Like, y'all are dressed for one. I was like, sure, let's go. The one that we were going to ends up getting canceled. So we're like, not going there. Or no, it didn't get canceled. It ended up being shadoo-doo. The first one ended up being so bad. I'm talking, the toilet was overflowing from the bathroom with vomit in it, mind you, overflowing from the bathroom, vomit water all over the floor, into the living room, onto the hardwoods, onto the carpet. We're walking around. They said no shoes. Fuck you mean no shoes? We're stepping in vomit water, bitch. So whatever, we leave that function and I'm like, okay, this is totally fine. We invite the boys to the next function that we're going to. So I give the guy that came up to my spot, he was like, we need a costume. And I was like, oh my gosh, you do need a costume. Luckily, I have a Spider-Man costume in the back of my car. And I look damn good in that too. I was supposed to wear that in case we went to a different function and if I spilt on myself or something. So it fits him because it's stretchy. He wears it. He looks nice in it, okay? He's a little bit taller than me. I don't even remember this dude's name. Started with a J. Jack? Obviously a J name though. But so we're sitting in the McDonald's parking lot. He was like, where's the move? Where's the move? Where's the move? I was like, I don't fucking know. Okay, it got canceled. We're still looking. We ended up not going to anything together. Mind you, there's 4 boys in the car. There's me and Julie, 2 of us. I was also kind of worried because I'm like, they outnumber us. I'm a cautious bitch, kind of. Whatever, we go home. He ends up texting me on Snapchat. He was like, hey, I really think we should go out sometime. I'm like, fuck yeah, like, you're cute. Like, even though you're kind of weirdo and you followed us, like, let's do it anyways. So we end up going to the movie theater. This is where it gets bad. I looked a little chopped, okay? I went heavy on the makeup and I was wearing some bum-ass clothing, right? But we're going to the movies. You want to be comfy, and I wanted to look good in the dark lighting. Never go to the movies for your first date. You can't talk. You can't do but fuck nothing. He's over here kind of like feeling on my leg a little bit, and I'm not having it. We're in the movie theater, so I just kind of sit away from him. But we're talking before the movie starts, and there is absolutely no flow. I'm literally just sitting here yapping, and then once I stop myself, he does not, like, elaborate on anything I says. He just goes on to a new topic, yaps about something fucking random. I don't even remember what it was. It was that bad. And I'm sure he felt the same about me. I'm sure this is probably one of his worst date experiences as well. So, at one point, mind you, we're watching the second Venom movie. Neither of us have seen the first Venom movie. So we're a little lost. I started asking him questions, and he's like, well, I didn't see the first one either. Oh, then why'd you want to go see this movie? And at one point, I turned to say something to him because he, like, whispers something and I can't hear him. I burp in his face. I don't know if he noticed and didn't really say anything, but I'm praying that it didn't smell like anything because, boy, I was hawking down that popcorn and slushy. Not gonna lie. And if you know anything about those fuck-ass movie theater slushy, they're so good, but they are literally 80% air. You will be burping, you will be farting. I'm sorry. But so, there's absolutely no chemistry here. Like, he's kind of put off, I'm kind of put off. I don't even remember what he was talking about, and he was, like, so awkward and so, like, reserves. And I'm a very outgoing person, so I'm thinking, like, I did something wrong that this guy does not like something about me now. Like, this guy doesn't like me for some crazy-ass reason that probably is very valid because I'm hard to get along with. Well, I'm easy to get along with. I'm hard to date. I'm hard to be with, and that's okay. We end up leaving the movie theater. He paid for the tickets and everything. We drove separate because I hate being picked up to dates because I feel like something's going to go wrong and I need an escape plan. So we are walking back to our cars. He walks me back to my... Oh, let me get in frame. He walks me back to my Jeep, and he's just staring at me. Like, he's just staring at me, and I'm like, is he looking at me? Is he contemplating if he wants to kiss me? Is he contemplating if he wants to never see me again? Does he have something on his mind he wants to say? He's literally just staring at me outside of my Jeep. So I'm like, okay. And I kind of move closer to him and I'm like, hey, like, this was fun. Like, thank you so much for the date and like everything. Like, I do appreciate it. We should go out again sometime. Because I'm just kind of like being polite, but at the same time, like, maybe I didn't get to know him enough and maybe like I should give it a second chance. He goes, yeah, definitely. Like, that sounds great. Like, I had a great time. Okay, have a good night. Walks back to his car, whatever. I get into my car. We're talking, or like I'm talking to my friend. Like, this was kind of a disaster, but like maybe I'll see him again. I found out like a week later, because we had still been talking, still been snapping, still planning our next hangout. But a week later, my friend who I met them with initially texted me and she was like, your man is hitting on my friend asking for a 2-man tonight. I was like, damn. All right. My bitch got took. Goodbye. So it's not really like, that was kind of the end of it. He never gave me back my Spider-Man suit. I really missed that thing. It was perfect. It was literally a $4 thrift store find that fit me like a glove. Like, I adored that thing. But he has it, and his pictures are still up in his Instagram, I think. But yeah, it's not crazy of a date because that's the only like official date I've really been taken on. Well, I've been taken on like maybe 2 or 3 more. But, like, that was one of the only official dates I've been taken on. So I can't really have a good bad date story. Because most of my experiences with men are bad. But the only dates I've really had is that one. Could have been worse. Could have been way worse. But it wasn't a good experience. Wasn't a good time. So that's all I got to share for you.